everybody. Welcome to join CGTN's live stream at Peking University. As one of the top universities in China, Peking University cultivates talents that are now shining in different fields, including politics, arts, science, and sports. And now it really becomes a home for talents from across the world. Now we have students coming here at Peking University exchanging culture and knowledges. And now we have two students here from Peking University, and they're going to show us a great example of the cultural integration, the East meet West. And ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy this show, Jasmine Flower. Wow, this is a really beautiful performance. Thanks. And this is the first time for me to see an Asian Chinese instrument, guzheng, and a flute to play together this famous Jasmine Flower, a very famous Chinese song. So guys, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, sure, thanks. I'm Sun Li, I'm from China, and right now I'm doing my graduate program here at Yanqing Academy of Peking University. It's my great honor to perform guzheng with my dear friend Ivana.
What do you study?
I study politics and international relations.
Politics and international relations.
Yes.
And you are a great performer of the instrument as well. Wow.
Thanks. We're both music lovers.
My name is Jovana Bogojevic. I'm originally from Montenegro, but have been living in China for the past 6 years. I'm also a Yanqing scholar. We study politics and international relations together, and we also perform together. I did my undergrad at Central Conservatory of Music.
Wow, so I'm wondering, when did you came up with this idea of putting this flute, like normally we know as a Western instrument, and this Asian Chinese instrument, guzheng, together to play this song?
So at the Central Conservatory of Music, I was really exposed to different cultures. And I think what I tried to do is combine my own Montenegrin culture with Chinese one. So I started writing for the flute and guzheng a very long time ago. But now as I'm here at Yanqing, and luckily I have Sunan Li that plays guzheng, we often perform together. And we kind of try to keep this new tradition alive.
Do you feel it's really hard to put these very different instruments together?
Well, at the beginning I find it is a little hard because, to be honest, this is my first time to perform a traditional Chinese song with a Western musical instrument. But thanks to Jovana, she's a star.
Do you feel it's really difficult to put this together?
I don't think so. I think that there has to be an understanding, of course, of different tonal systems, different cultures, what is maybe specific for guzheng and the way guzheng is performed, as well as the way flute is performed. But if you study in China or you're exposed to these instruments abroad, you're absolutely able to do this as well anywhere. So I don't think it's that difficult. It's more like it's not common, so people are not yet used to it.
And can you briefly tell us what kind of difference that you feel of those two instruments?
I mean, the first most obvious difference is that this is a woodwind instrument, and this is an instrument that you actually have to pluck. Another difference, of course, is the cultural background of it, because the Chinese system uses pentatonic scales, whereas we use the major minor scales. So that's, of course, different. And then the way they're performed, the themes behind these songs are usually different. For example, in the Chinese classical tradition of music, you will find a lot of interest in natural scenery and water, landscapes, these kinds of environments. So the guzheng or guqin players would be going there and performing. It's actually quite interesting that aristocrats used to leave Beijing for massive amounts of time just to live in solitude to perform these instruments. But with the Western flute, it's a different tradition entirely.
Okay. And what about this university life? Because like I just introduced, this we feel Peking University is gradually turning into a cultural melting pot because we have students from everywhere. So how do you feel this cultural exchanges in school?
I enjoy the life here a lot because YC and PKU, they provide us with a lot of opportunities and activities to know about different cultures and to know about each other. So I never expect that I would so I'm here in China, but I could have communication and chat with foreign scholars here. So I think life is just so awesome.
Well, I do agree with this, that life here is quite awesome. I think Yanqing Academy and Peking University have provided us with a very good environment to expand on multiple levels. So we are not only improving our language abilities, we are also communicating and discussing ideas in politics, in IR or arts. So, for example, soon we are going to have an art conference that combines gender and China. So all of these things give us a very multidisciplinary environment. It's really cool.
Well, awesome. Thank you. That's a very beautiful performance. And like Giovanna said, these two instruments come from a very different culture. They are very different, but doesn't mean it's impossible to put them together. As long as you understand the different cultures and different instruments and the rules, you can put great music together. I know you're just talking about the music, but I think it's also a great metaphor for real life issues. So it's the same for different civilizations, different cultures, as long as we understand each other, have enough communication, we will create a great world and a great work together. So now we're going to say goodbye to you guys.
Bye.
Thank you. And I have a colleague, Serena, who is now in the Archeology Museum. But before that, please, I would like to remind all of you, if you have any questions and comments, please do leave your comments on CGTN social networks. And my editors back home will try to send those questions back to me. I will try to answer them during this live stream. So let's check what Serena is doing at the Archeology Lab.
Wow, that was quite an performance. Hello, and thanks for staying with us. I'm Serena with the CGTN. So live streaming to you on the Campus Open Day in Peking University. So as you can see, I am now inside one of the archaeological lab on campus. So if the cameraman could just tilt up and pan around, so you can see all these artifacts for animals and even human beings in this lab. And also you also find out all these students are doing their research right now. Oh, that's very cute. So today join me is one of the lecturers on campus in Peking University in Archaeology Department, Miss Zhang Ying. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Okay, so could you tell us, because I'm like completely an outsider, so could you tell us a little bit about what are these on the table? You know, we can see a lot of like bones, skulls, but what are these?
There are different kinds of specimens in this lab. We have some modern animal skulls like
Yeah.
this one, and some bones like this one.
Wow, this is
and
huge.
we also have some specimens from archaeological sites, such as these in this tray and in this basket.
So those are samples just collected
Yes.
from the field, right?
Yes.
So how about these? Are these like how would you guys identify all these samples to tell what is that? Is it like a cattle or is it an animal or is it a human being body or something like that?
Actually, it's quite simple. For example, we see this bone and we compare this one to our, we call them a reference collection.
Oh,
We
those
compare-
are reference
Yes, we
collections.
compare these archaeological specimens to the reference collection, and we will see which bone, this bone is which one. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, I see. So basically, compare all these samples
Yes.
to the reference
Collection.
collections. So you will tell which part is this one,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay. So is there anything you?
Yeah, I think how about this one? This will make a perfect test for you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, what's
Test for
this?
me.
What's this?
It obviously these looks like an animal teeth, right?
Yes.
But it's
You're right.
huge.
Yeah.
So it must be some animal with
Some large animal.
big size,
Yes.
right? So I'll guess is it a cattle or something? Because it looks quite similar to this
Yes,
one.
It's just the same part, same
Oh,
part of
okay.
this side. This we call it
Bingo.
a mandible,
Oh.
mandible of a cattle skull.
Okay, cool.
You make a good student.
Thank you. I wish I could be like smart enough to join your department. So, apart from these samples, would you tell us a little bit more about how, apart from using these reference collections, is there any other measurements? Like for instance, if you have to measure the size,
Yes.
to like look at the textures, even the colors, to tell like when was it, what kind of like age period, or these things are coming from.
Usually we use these calipers to measure the bones. We have like to measure a specific part of them,
Right.
and it will help us to compare between sites,
Okay.
and maybe to make between sites of different period and different locations. This will be very helpful. And sometimes we also take samples to do some tests. This like a radiocarbon dating test in the lab, in this in all that this fancy labs, and we will know how old this bone is, like 3,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago. This one, I think they are mostly from at least 4,000 years old.
4,000 years
Yeah,
old.
much older than us.
Wow. Oh my God, that's history on my hand.
And
That's heavy.
even these collections, these reference collections, I think they're older than both of us.
Oh, of course, they're older
Yeah.
than both of us. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing all this information with
Thank
us.
you. Thank you
so
for
just
coming
like,
here.
Thank you. Just go back to whatever you
Yeah.
are doing before.
Okay.
Thank you. So that's all for the lab live streaming. So my colleague Jingjing is about to pick up and show you guys one of the most advanced technology lab on campus as well. So don't go away. If you have any questions, any comments, just leave it on our social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Weibo, and WeChat. So I'll see you guys later. Don't go away.
Now I'm standing in a very beautiful Asian Chinese buildings. So this is a very typical Chinese building, the red frame, the gray roof, and with a beautiful garden. This is one of the beauty of Peking University. You always see very beautiful Asian Chinese elements. But can you guess what's inside this building? I will take you a tour inside this building. Let's go. So here is a lounge, and actually, hi, how are you? Now, actually, this inside this very Chinese-style building is a center of frontiers of computer studies, and you can see there are a few cameras and there are a few students. So basically, this is the technology the students are developing now. So what does they do? You wanna?
I will help you ask that.
Okay.
So hi everyone, we are currently at the Turing School, as you know, and we are with 2 graduate and PhD students, and they will help us understand better what is actually happening here. Could you please introduce yourself to our spectators and explain what do you do?
Hello everyone, my name is Cihai. I'm a second year PhD student at the center, and I'm majoring in computer vision now.
Hello everyone, my name is Wu Rujie, and now I'm a fresh student of Master in Computer Vision.
So could you please explain to us exactly what are we doing in this room with all of these cameras around? Because our reporter here is going to be giving some examples to the audience. It's a very interesting technology.
Our system is actually a 3D post-estimation system.
And can you turn on this program? Because I think I see there are 4 cameras pointing at me. Are they supposed to capture my movements?
Sorry.
Oh, is that me, that little matchman?
Yeah, that's you.
The matchman.
This is me, okay.
It captures your movements.
Okay, so what does this program do?
Actually, it's a 3D post-estimation system. We use 4 cameras from different views to capture live videos. And via computer vision algorithms, we try to detect different joints of the human, such as ankles or wrists, and then we reconstruct them into the 3D space. As you see on the screen, we group this set of 3D points as a matchstick map or a 3D skeleton.
Oh, this is really, really cool. I heard that this kind of technology already exists, so why is your project innovative and different?
Oh, this project is actually, this research area is actually a very active research area worldwide. However, existing mature post-estimation systems usually use sensors to estimate the poses. But these are very expensive and inconvenient equipments. People usually have to wear a lot of sensors before post-estimation. However, in contrast, our systems only relies on 4 cameras. Even cameras from your phone is okay.
That's very interesting. Where do you see the future of this technology going to?
Yeah, our system is still in its infancy, and everything is going well. And I will explain some details about future plans. As you can see, our system is still improving its accuracy and robustness in single-person detection. Recently, we have achieved some wonderful performance, and so in the follow-up phase, we will consider multi-person detection. It will make this system more will cope with multi-person situations. We can dance all together at the same time, and it's very wonderful. And secondly, we will consider rating system to evaluate whether people's actions are perfect, and to continue to improve it to more robust to open environment, and not only limited to constrained environment. Finally, we want to try some interesting solutions. A solution is adding a small animal to skeleton, such as the cute bear, which will dance with your dancing. It will looks like very cute. Yeah, that's all.
Oh, that's very interesting. As a fellow PKU student, I do want to ask you as well about your experiences at Peking University. So could you both perhaps answer how much is the school supporting you in these endeavors, and how do you feel as a Peking University student?
Oh, this center actually, it provides me a very beautiful place to work here.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and it provides me many opportunities to work with very smart people. And more important, it provides me many opportunities to listen to talks from experts in different fields. It's very helpful in my study.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. What about you?
I want to share a small story during the study. Yeah. And this is absolutely unforgettable. Until last night, our performance is still not well. And there was a hidden bug in our program. We worked hard for a long time, but didn't improve it. And until 4 o'clock today morning, we finally found it out. And then the performance showed a qualitative leap. This was too exciting. We overcome everything in the last time. This feeling is really cool. And what is feedbacks at lab? Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Thank you guys, thank you so much. And thank you, Joanna, for letting us know more about these guys. And this technology is very interesting. I was constantly staring at myself. as a matchman, I was never that thin, ever. So everyone, if you do have any questions for Peking University, please leave your question and comments on CGTN social networks. My editors from the studio will try to give me those comments as soon as possible, and I will try to answer those questions during these live streams. And this is the Center on Frontiers of Computer Studies. This is one of the top leading computer studies across China, and they're really trying hard to provide the ideal place, ideal environment for students to do innovations, to do experiments, and developing the cutting-edge technology for China and for the world. And before we tour to next departments, let's see what Serena is doing at the Art Museum.
Hi there. Again, thanks for staying with us. Now we're inside the Archeology Museum on campus. The museum was founded back in 1993, and currently it holds over 13,000 art and archaeological artifacts. So as you can see on the wall, if the cameraman would pan a little bit, so there is like a timeline recorded the whole big events and the important figures and characters throughout this foundation of this museum since 1922 until the end. You'll see over there it will last to 2018. And luckily, I'm not alone today here. So I've invited one of the Peking University student on campus, Jaja. So she will join me for this museum live stream. So Jaja, would you want to say hi to the viewer real quick?
Hi everyone, I'm Jaja from the School of Governance in Peking University.
So is this your first time here in this museum?
Actually, no, I've came several times, but actually I feel like every visit here, you kind of like know something new about it, so it's kind of interesting.
Oh, cool. So do you have any, like, your favorite piece or any highlights you want to mention in this from this museum?
Yes. Let me show you this.
Okay.
This is actually an oracle bone, and this is what they actually used to do fortune telling during the Shang Dynasty.
Oh, back in the Shang Dynasty.
Yes, and actually something that is really interesting about this is how do you identify this piece that is from the Shang Dynasty? Apart from the characters that are written on the oracle bone itself, actually this...
You mean the characters carved on the bone?
Yes, like the style of the characters. Apart from that, actually the act of actually putting the description of the fortune telling, the fortune telling on the carved on the surface itself, right? This act of doing it is actually very specific to the Shang Dynasty, which means that it's not commonly seen in other dynasties.
Okay, so it's specifically in the Shang Dynasty. Yes. It works like a fortune teller. Yes. But how, like, what kind of person would use this to, like, tell its first fortune?
Oh, usually it will be used by the rulers or someone that is of a higher social status at that time.
I see, basically the rulers and maybe the king back in that dynasty. Okay, that's quite interesting.
Yep.
All right, cool. So as we moving forward, so I can see on my right-hand side, this one. And on my, on my right-hand side, this way. I'm so
I think this is quite interesting as well.
This one looks like a bowl to me, right?
Yeah. It's from the Zhou dynasty, if I'm not wrong.
It's from the Zhou dynasty. Okay.
So I think we can take a I think we can take a look at the one over that side. I think that is quite interesting.
Okay. So that's the Paleolithic times.
Yes, we're at our second part of the museum. And I think this is something that I would like to show you.
Because I heard this is by far the most complete human body discovered in China's northeastern Liaoning province, right?
That is very, very right.
But do you want to share the stories behind how our professors and students find this out?
Oh yeah. So how it started out, like how that whole excavation actually came about, was that these little pieces over here, these
small pieces?
Yes, these small pieces were actually discovered first by one of our professors called Professor Liu. So he was very quick and sharp in identifying them as human bones rather than animal bones, as we know that actually pretty much if you're not very experienced, you would think that they're the same.
Right.
Yeah, but he was a very, very experienced archaeologist, so he could identify straight away, and that's how the whole excavation for this whole, the most complete set at that time actually came about.
So basically, the professor find out these small pieces at first, and then dig it out more, and finally figure out it's like a human body fossils.
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite interesting as well.
Yes.
So now we're approaching and moving forward. I think this is kind of like an interaction hallway.
Yes.
Because I can see all these questions.
Yes.
Reading on the wall.
Yeah.
And also there are questions over there
Yes.
asking when do people invent a language and when did art started?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So essentially, this museum, I think what is very, very special about it is when you are walking through the museum itself, you bring questions with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what the
You
museum.
bring questions to the museum.
Yes,
and then you try to figure out,
Yes.
find out the answers here.
Yes, and I think this is what makes this museum actually unique and also very, very interesting as well, because it's interactive.
Right.
Yes.
Do you have any questions before your first time visit here?
Oh yes, I had a lot of questions because I'm not a very, very history student. Yeah, so after I came here after I came here for a lot of times, and then I start to realize how things work here, what do archaeologists actually aim to do, etc. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting.
Okay, so for those of you who are watching our live stream, if you have any questions, just like Jaja did, so don't hesitate to leave your thoughts, your comments on all of our social media platforms. So I will pick up your questions and answer your questions as soon as I can. So we are moving forward. I can see another board on the wall. That's something about what exactly an archaeologist do. So here, join us is our lovely, lovely interpreter for this museum and the PhD student on campus, Louis. Welcome aboard.
Hi everyone. I'm Louis. Yeah, a PhD student in the Department of Archaeology and Museology.
Oh, nice. How long have you been doing this as an interpreter for this museum?
I think almost 10 years.
Wow, 10 years. You are an expert.
I hope so.
You are. So how was it? How was your job? Like for me as an outsider, like regular people like me, like we would think like archaeologists is more like, just people who just travel around the world, just like go to places some other people would never go to, would never able to went to see. So, but exactly, does that true? Is that really how archaeologists do?
Okay, yeah, that's really a common question about archaeology. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, many people think that the archaeologist may be someone like Indiana Jones or the character in the movies like Tomb Raider, but I want to say no, it's totally not.
It's totally not.
Just what as what you said, we need to go different places to do the excavations and surveys, but it's just a small part and the beginning part of our job, because the aim of archaeology is to learn more about the past of the human beings and to learn more about the ancient people and the ancient societies. For example, what did the ancient people eat and how did they organize their societies, and what did they think, their spiritual world and their arts. So
can I say an archaeologist is more like you guys go out and find out these fragmented pieces and bring them back and try to put them together, and then through all these pieces you guys trace back to its history and cultures in the ancient time. Is that right?
Yes, so I think that the archaeologist is more like a detective. Cool. Yeah.
Yes, pretty cool.
Yeah, we just got small pieces of the past, but we try to and we need to find out the truth of the past. So actually, the archaeologists need to spend more time in the lab or in the office, even at home, to study the artifacts, the animal bones, the plant seeds, or other things they got from the field or from the excavation.
It sounds to me it's like a very interesting job, and as you mentioned, it just basically works like a detective. So do you have any interesting experience to share with us?
Yeah, let me think. My major is the archaeology of the Chinese Bronze Age. So when I was an undergraduate student, our professors took us to a site of Western Zhou Dynasty. Yeah, the dating is about 3,000 years ago.
Wow.
And at the beginning of our excavation, we got some small pieces of turtle shells and animal bones, but actually we didn't pay much attention to them. But one day our professor found that there were some inscriptions, some characters in that shells and bones, and then they realized that these bones and shells were the auricle bones of the Western Zhou Dynasty, and that is quite rare. So we spent more than 3 months to excavate and got thousands. We got thousands of small pieces of the auricle bones of Western Zhou Dynasty, and now it's one of the most important archaeological discoveries during the past 10 years in China, or I think even all around the world.
See, you never know what you're finding, right?
Yeah,
that's the beauty of your job.
Yeah, it's quite exciting and interesting.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining our live stream.
You're welcome. And if you want to know more about archaeology, welcome to our department.
Welcome to Peking University. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, so that is all for our Archaeology Museum live streaming. But don't go away. My colleague Jingjing is about to take you inside another interesting and adventurous lab or exhibitions. Go to see some beautiful butterflies. See you guys around.
Well, thank you, Serena. Well, finally, we arrive at this life science department. As you see this beautiful butterfly specimen, and we are gonna explore more about life science. So, and here with Ellie, who just performed the guzheng, the beautiful jasmine flower. She already changed her uniform.
Yeah,
Peking University, very beautiful.
Thanks.
So I know you know music, you know politics, but how much do you know life science? I'm wondering.
Biology is my favorite subject in middle school and secondary school, so I know a little about it, but I'm interested to know more about it.
Yeah, so we have an expert here today going to tell us more about what they are doing. So I see there were so many butterfly specimens. So can you tell us more about the stories of this one? This is so beautiful, by the way.
是的，这个蝴蝶大家可以看到颜色非常鲜丽，非常漂亮。那大家知道它的这种颜色和其他的颜色有什么不一样吗？
It's very shiny.
Yeah. So she just asked us what's the difference between this color of this butterfly and other butterflies. Apparently, it reflects from different dimensions. It feels like.
对，大家从不同角度看它这个颜色确实是不一样的。那是因为它这个颜色不是色素，是结构色，就是主要是因为光的反射造成的。对，所以它这么亮也是因为它进行了多次反射，所以才会非常闪亮。
So basically, this color, what creates this unique color is because the structure of these wings, it has so many structures. So actually, there's different reflections that what creates this unique style. So what does it do? Why it is so like shining, beautiful?
为什么就是这么？为什么它会制造出这样一个漂亮的颜色呢？
这个漂亮的颜色其实是。它的背面主要是吸引它同伴使用的。
So basically, this butterfly gonna use this shining color to attract mates.
Yeah, attract mates, exactly.
对，那其实和它这个正面的鲜亮颜色形成非常大反差的，就是大家可以看一下它背面的。
Wow,
so
okay,
scary.
Wow, this is the other side of this beautiful butterfly. So I can't believe this is from the same butterfly. Why is this side is so different?
对，就像大家第一眼看到它觉得非常震惊，就是他就想给他的天敌制造这样一个效果，就是让他的天敌被他这一连串的眼斑给吓到，所以不敢去吃它。然后另外的话就是眼睛长的部位，可能大家都以为非常重要，但其实只是它的翅膀。就这样的话，它就可以躲避这个攻击，然后让自己活。
So basically, this butterfly gonna use this side to threaten enemies, because it's not that beautiful. So it creates a dangerous message, and also these dots looks like eyes. So when the enemy gonna attack this butterfly, they will attack the wrong place. They will attack these eyes. They won't attack the real body. So this butterfly, even it got attacked, it still got a chance to run away.
Yeah, so it's not like a fatal attack. It's a kind of protection.
And there's another very different species of butterfly. What's this one?
这个是其实我们实验室研究比较多的一个蝴蝶，叫做枯叶蛱蝶。大家也可以就一眼就可以看到它其实在模仿一个枯叶，对吗
？So basically, this butterfly is called dead leaf butterfly. As the name suggests, this butterfly looks like a dead leaf. But when it spread its wing, it's also very beautiful here.
对，它的这个背面呢，和刚才那个有点像，其实也是为了吸引它的同伴。
So basically, it does the same thing. Use this side to attract mates. And use this side to
avoid attack from
enemies,
predators.
Because the enemy is gonna think it's just a leaf.
Yeah.
对，所以这个蝴蝶其实是把自然选择和性选择结合得非常好的一个模型，这也是我们研究它的原因。
So why I'm wondering, so like why you spend so much time and effort studying butterflies? What does butterflies say about like life science?
因为蝴蝶呢，它就是大家可以看到它的这个物种非常丰富，然后它的图案也非常多样。然后我们对这个多样性的是如何产生，其实就是一个非常重要的生物学问题。然后另外呢，还有就是它虽然在一个2维的平面，但是它的功能非常复杂，就它既兼顾就飞行啊、求偶啊、御敌啊，就这些功能非常复杂，所以我们觉得这是一个非常好的模型。
So basically, the butterfly has quite a lot of diversity. Just one species, but they have. I think you said like 18
over 10,000
over 10,000 18,000 different kinds of butterflies, and there are also some other specimens. They all look different. So and this wings, the structure is very simple, but it combines different functions together, like flying, move around, but also attract mates and avoid enemies, attack enemies, and also I think also has a function of control the temperature of its body. So such a single frame, you can see this, you can feel this how life is evolved, and maybe it's a good simple to tell us what we evolved to today. What are we looking at now?
Just out of curiosity, how long will it take to make a butterfly specimen?
这个其实视人而定。像我们比较熟练的技术员的话，他差不多1天就可以完成。
So it only takes about 1 day to finish a specimen.
对，是把它拼好，就是扎好，但是它可能有一个风干的过程需要。
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for your introduction.
thank you. And this is the specimen here, and I know you guys also have a room that are gonna breed some butterflies. Can you show us? Wow, okay. Behind this door.
Wait, is it humid inside?
Okay, wow.
Hi.
Hi, wow, you guys. Hi. Oh, wow, okay. You guys, behind the camera, you probably can't feel it, but actually it's much
warm
and
humid.
Yeah, than
humid
outside.
inside. Yeah.
So 你能跟我们解释一下为什么这里会比外面的室温和湿度差这么多吗？
因为蝴蝶它本身的野外环境就是一个亚热的环境，我们为了它能够在这个实验室能够养殖下去，就会调节它的温湿度，应该湿度会达到50%到70%，所以大家可能感觉体感很湿热。
So basically they're trying to create a good environment for butterflies to live. So the humidity you said is around like 50% to 70%. That's why. Can we take a look at those pupas?
Okay.
Wow, okay, it's quite amazing. So can you tell us more about what's inside? Because I think we don't really know what are those. 你能跟我们讲讲这里面到底有什么这个？
就是枯叶蛱蝶的蛹，它就是一个玄蛹的形式，倒挂在这里面，然后有一些已经羽化成了成虫，你看这些都是它的成虫，像叶片一样安静的待在这里。
Wow. Okay. So, those like look like leaves. It's just those dead leaf butterflies that we saw, like the specimen.
Yeah.
And we also got some comments from our readers on Facebook. I can read some of those comments. A user named Ronnie Hall said, those butterflies are just like a moth. Most of me. You hide the most powerful things in plain sight. Yes. And
exactly.
I think many people say big blue butterfly. They really like the beautiful butterflies. Beautiful butterflies. So we mission intelligence. And Asan Ali said nice. Nice.
Nice. Good.
Yeah, good.
Talent.
I think some of you may have a typo in the comments. But I understand what you're saying. You really like these butterflies and you like those talents at Peking University. And if you do have questions, please leave your questions on CGTN social networks and Peking University's social networks. We will try to answer all your questions and what you want to know more about this Peking University. And this is the room that breed those new butterflies. And there are also some experts doing experiments. Let's take a look, shall we, Penny?
Sure.
So, what do I type here? Hello, guys. 你们好，你们好。你能给我们简单介绍一下你现在在做什么吗？
这里是在对那个枯叶蛱蝶的卵在进行一个显微注射。
显微注射。So, okay. So basically, he's gonna eject something into the. What kind of the butterfly you say?
枯叶蛱。
枯叶。
dead leaf butterfly.
Into. Why you do that?
我们主要是想对它进行一些基因编辑，就是利用 CRISPR-Cas9的技术对它进行一些
genetic editing.
Yeah.
Oh, so basically he's trying to do some tests, do some genetic editing to the eggs of those dead leaf butterflies. What's your name and what do you study here?
我叫张宇博。
张宇博。
Yeah.
And what do you study?
生物科学。
生物科学 biology, science of biology.
Yeah.
And what year are you? Like, are you undergraduates or are you also a PhD candidate?
我是那个大学4年级。
Oh, you're about to graduate.
You're about to graduate. Yeah. You're gonna become a scientist soon. Okay, thank you. And we have more scientists working here. And hi, can you tell us what you are doing here?
我在用显微镜观察这个蝴蝶的鳞片。看到了那个蝴蝶这个，这是它的红色这个部分，然后这边是黑色的。
So she's examining the scales on the wings of the dead leaf, on the wings of the dead leaf butterflies. So this is the specimen.
Yeah.
And over here on the screen, you can see this scales of the butterfly more clearly. This is a very different world because when you see through this lens, you see things that you normally can't see with your bare eyes. Okay, thank you, thank you. This is pretty amazing, and I think I know much more about life science today, and know more about this evolution and different species. So, Anli, I'm wondering, how do you feel about after visiting this lab?
I really want to do another graduate program on biological science.
So, okay, after studying music and politics, now you're going to study
biology.
Well.
Yeah, I hope they accept me as their student.
Wow, okay. Then you're gonna be like a super smart person with different degrees on in different fields.
Hopefully.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. So this is our amazing lab, and my colleague Serena is gonna go to this art museum of this archaeology, and let's see what she's gonna show us more.
Welcome back again. Thanks for staying with us. So right now we're standing in front of the Boya Pagoda. It is one of the landmark buildings on campus, and I heard it was actually located on the center access on campus, right? And I know every landmark buildings must have its own special stories. So would you tell us a little bit about the stories behind?
Oh yeah, so for this Boya Pagoda, actually in 1921, this area actually became part of the campus for Yanqing University. So back then, to solve the problem of the supply of water and also the usage of water for all the students here on campus, actually they dug a well near this tower itself in 1924, and they realized that the water source is very abundant. And after that, they realized that the water spray is actually, it can amount to 10 feet above the ground. So with this condition, they actually decided to build a water tower out of it.
So that's how the pagoda is built. And I know you guys are always saying, you know, a glittering lake reflecting pagoda. That's the Boya Pagoda
this is the
we're
one.
talking about, right? Okay, so I know you've been here and studied and lived on campus in Peking University for almost 1 year. So I wonder, like, what brought you here, and how was your experience so far?
Because I'm from Singapore, and I feel like there are still differences between Singapore and China, even though they're both Asian countries. And China is huge, so they are very well known for its cultural diversity here, and I feel like it's very interesting to know different places that you go in China, you learn different things. And I feel like if you really want to understand how China is like, you have to come here and really spend your years here to actually understand this complicated and interesting country.
So how was your experience so far? Do you encounter any cultural differences, or have you made any interesting people like you've never imagined before?
Oh yes. So back then when I was traveling in China during my years here, like my first year here actually. So I actually met this guy. He's from Hunan province, and he's the same age as me, but he has finished university and he has been working as a car repair worker. And what I felt like really touching is that he's supporting his family already. And this is not something that we see everywhere.
So he's at a very young age, but it's already being very supportive and supporting his own family.
Yes, I feel like he has a very mature mindset, and this is what I really admire a lot.
Oh, that's a very heartwarming story.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
No
I really appreciate your time for joining us on this Peking University Campus Open Day. Thanks so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, so as we send off Jaja, I really had a wonderful and exciting day because I've always dreamed of going back to school ever since I started working. So today I'm so lucky to get on a campus tour on Peking University. So as Jaja mentioned, Peking University is a very diverse campus. It offers a platform for international students, for students across the world to come here and to share their different cultures. Just like the Asian Civilization Dialogue, which is actually happening right now in Beijing to provide a platform for people with different cultural backgrounds to share their thoughts and beliefs. All right, thanks again. Thanks for watching our live streaming, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.